Hello, everyone. Thank you for asking me to speak tonight. I sincerely apologize for not being able to be there, but I thank the organizers for doing such a great job. I'm very fortunate to be here. Um, Thanks to my colleagues, not just for tonight, my colleagues and my students, they work very hard to make this department a great place. It's an intellectual utopia and a sanctuary where many great ideas can develop. I was a teacher of this department with all my mind and flesh for over 10 years. I studied design in San Francisco when I was your age. Even though my master's was in architectural studies from Florence, I've always felt like an outsider. I was an outsider in Bidesh, I was outsider in Desh. Maybe that's why, from the beginning, it never made sense to me why the curriculum was so full of so many unnecessary things. And it never made sense to me why the curriculum is missing so many necessary things. Well, it still does not. I think those of you who graduated, dear alumni, you realize how unprepared the school sends you to real world. But please, don't blame your teachers or the department. We tried to do the best we can with the tools we had. Trust me, no school in USA or in Europe prepares their students completely either. The best educated person is the one who can teach himself. And remember, no angel from heaven, no white man from Texas A&M is going to come and give us a spectacular recipe on how to fix our education system. If you want to see a change in architectural education, you are the one who has to do it. 10 years is a long time in a young man's life. My entire identity was based on this department as a teacher. I love being a teacher. I love my students. Unlike many of my friends who work in corporate world, I was very happy every day to come to work. It was a remarkable time in my life. I was learning new things almost every day. Well, maybe not every day. This was the best job in the world, and no matter what I do, I know no other job can come close to this being so perfect. Listen, I will not leave you with any advice of life. That's the job of your parents. You're all adults here. You will figure it out. Or not. My only request for you would be to use your knowledge and skills to serve the people of this country who cannot afford you. I mean, being in an air-conditioned auditorium like this, with all the privileged people around us, we tend to forget actually that we are a minority. I mean, more than 100 million of our countrymen still lives in the villages who can never afford to come to NSU or become an architect. And don't forget that. Your generation is in a unique position to change the course of history. There is nothing wrong with being a modern architect, solving the designing and beautiful buildings and urban architecture. But I think if you do that, if you only allow yourself to become the servant of this top 1% of the population, you will betray your education. Your generation will see the biggest shift from rural to urban in a millennia. You are in a unique position to give new ideas, new design for villages and cities of tomorrow. Remember, most architects in the Western world can never have this opportunity. And now you can ask, like, how can we help the poor population of rural area? Well, I cannot tell you a singular way of achieving that goal. But I know that if your niyat is right, if you really want to make a difference, you will figure it out. My dear students, I have loved you since the first day of my teaching. A huge portion of my identity is wrapped around you. A teacher must love for his students. Without love, nothing grows. Without love for your vocation, nothing can be achieved. I have talked to you, lectured you, scolded you, inspired you maybe, but mostly I have grown up with you. And I have realized that there is no perfect way of doing things, but this is the only life we will have. Help others through your architecture. Like Robin Williams, I would like to conclude by saying, make your life spectacular. Thank you, everyone.